Hi, welcome back. This is the Nigerian girl with acne here, and I decided that in my last two videos, I know I've mentioned something called Retin-A a lot, and it just occurred to me that I shouldn't mention something as strong as Retin-A without saying everything about the product, so that people don't think it's just another skincare thing, like like a serum or a cleanser. Who know that is a strong medication. So let me just start from the beginning. So we have basically what we call retinoids and retinols, and Retin-A is a retinoid. So basically Retin-A is a prescription medication that is prescribed by usually a dermatologist, and it's very powerful medication. And the active ingredient in, okay, let me just show you my own Retin-A. This is it here, Retin-A. So the active ingredient in Retin-A is tretinoin. So what that basically is like vitamin A. So it's in its active form, meaning like once you put it on the skin, it just like immediately starts working. But for retinols, they are not really in the active form, so they have to be like converted to, for retinols, yes, they have to be converted to the active form to begin to like work. So it's not as strong as a retinoid, that's Retin-A, which is why it's usually like a prescription medication. Unfortunately, in countries like Nigeria, where we don't really regulate our medication and our drugs, I'm sure you can find Retin-A in any, if you just walk into any pharmacy, even any supermarket or something, I'm sure you can find Retin-A anywhere. You can even order it on Jumia, which is the sad part. So like people don't just use it, and they don't understand how to use it, and then they have a lot of side effects. So the next thing we'll go into, Retin-A has like different strengths. Okay, let's not talk about that right now. So we're going to talk about the next thing is why a dermatologist would prescribe Retin-A. Like, what does Retin-A treat basically? So in my case, the dermatologist that prescribed my Retin-A, it was because of I had like severe acne. Like, I know my face looks bad now, but like it was worse before, trust me. I had severe acne with severe post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, acne scars everywhere. I had it was like a sight. So she thought mine was severe enough to need Retin-A, so she prescribed Retin-A for me. And so other reasons why the dermatologist might prescribe Retin-A, apart from the acne, they can prescribe it for the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. It can be prescribed for like age spots, sunspots. For like older people with wrinkles and fine lines, they can prescribe Retin-A for that. They can prescribe Retin-A for like, oh gosh, some other skincare issues that I will not really go into right now, because those are a bit more like upper echelon. So we'll just do like acne and stuff. That's usually the most common reason why they prescribe it. I think they can even prescribe it for stretch marks. Like, that's how diverse Retin-A is. Okay, so how does the Retin-A work? How does it help with your acne and your dark spots and everything? So basically, Retin-A, it just helps with like increasing like the cell turnover on your face. So your face, the texture of your skin will feel like smoother because you have like a newer layer of skin. So the skin, when you use Retin-A for a while, you realize that your skin is like smoother, the texture is different because you have a newer layer like right on top. So, and then it also helps to, like, I don't know how to describe this, the skin cells helps them not to stick together, so that you don't have those build up of like the black heads or white heads or whatever, all those how do you pronounce that word, comedogenic? So comedogenic acne, it helps in like the way that when the pores are blocked, that's how you get that kind of acne. So it helps to prevent that. And when the cell turnover is like increased, the layers with the dark spots and all, he helps with that. so you have like a newer like layer of skin on your face when you use Retin-A. So let's discuss how to use Retin-A. Now, when your dermatologist prescribes Retin-A for you, they normally explain this, but I'm sure my Nigerian brothers and sisters, some of you have bought Retin-A without dermatologist prescription. So I feel like even if you must use it, at least maybe I can help with the use of it. So the Retin-A I have right now, this is Retin-A 0.05%. This is the strength of my Retin-A right now. But then there are other strengths. There is 0.025%, which I would recommend using if you are just starting out. In fact, if you are just starting out with like retinols or retinoids, I would suggest, if your acne is not that severe, if it's not something that you need like medical grade help for, I would suggest you use a retinol, because even though the strength is not that deep, but the side effects will not also be that deep, and it's easier to practice with that before maybe you want to graduate to the retinoids like Retin-A. For me, I didn't start with retinol, they just prescribed me the Retin-A. So, but for you, if you are doing this on your own, you might want to consider starting with retinol. The Ordinary has retinols, like almost every skincare brand, I'm sure they have retinols. You can check them. I'm sure you can find them on Jumia or on that Buy Better website I said in my previous video. But anyway, so if you are using your Retin-A cream, I suggest to start with the 0.025% strength before you graduate to any other one. And then when you are starting out with Retin-A, I think my first point would be start slow, slow and steady. Start very slowly. When you want to start your first night, I would recommend like using it like once a week. You begin using it once a week. In the night, Retin-A should always be used in the night, not during the daytime. It should always be used in the night time, because like I said, the Retin-A, because it brings out like the newer skin layers and all, the fresher layers of skin are more sensitive to the sun. So you use Retin-A in the night, and during the daytime you must, I don't know how many other must I can put, use a sunscreen. Very good UV protector, broad spectrum UV protector, not any weird thing. So that's it. Anyway, so as I was saying, you start very slow. Use Retin-A once a week when you first start it. You can use once a week 2 times, like once a week this week and once a week the next week, only at night. And you don't need a large amount of it, really. Oh God, I don't want to waste this thing. Should I? I don't know. Okay, for this video, you don't need a large. You just need like, just need like this amount. That's all you need, really. You don't need much. Oh God, this is a waste of product. Oh my Jesus. Okay, so you don't need much. Just that amount. Dot it on your skin and then rub it in. It will absorb easily. And then when you're using a Retin-A, let me just continue with the time frame first. So use it once a week for the first 2 times. Then if you're not seeing too much like irritation or redness or scaling, you can progress to twice a week, the 3rd time and the 4th time. Let your skin get used to it. Then you can progress to 3 times a week for the next 2 times. Then you now progress to every other day before you finally do like a nightly thing. And if you see any too much irritation or too much redness, you should just always regress back to the previous your previous frequency. So my next point, less is more. I think I already hit on that when I showed you the amounts they're supposed to use. Less is more. You don't have to pack it all over your face. You really suffer for it the next day with that. My friend once, when she saw I was using Retin-A, and then she wanted to try it, and then I did not know, so she just like rubbed, like it was like she used like a cream, like a moisturizer, and she like rubbed it over her face, and the next day everything was scaly and red and irritated, and it was horrible, and it can even cause more hyperpigmentation if you overuse. So like using that small amounts is very important. So my next point, patience. It's not a miracle drug. You won't see results overnight. Like, so like definitely for me, after I started using, like the next 3 weeks, I started realizing that my like, even if you have breakouts, they won't last long and they will not leave like a scar, and it won't be in like clusters and all that. And I feel like I should say that when you start using Retin-A, you have like what you call a purge, like because of all the, like I told you, like it helps to, like it really penetrates and like, you know, breaks up a lot of all these I think it's blackheads. So you have like a break, well, not a breakout, actually it's a purge. The difference between a breakout and a purge. So you might see like an increased amount of like pimples on your face when you start using it. Is a purge. After a while it will go, and then you now start seeing the effects. So for me, for my acne, I started seeing the effects like after like maybe like 3-4 weeks for the acne. But for anything long lasting, like skin texture, dark spots, fine lines, wrinkles, all those things, it's like is a like you reap what you sow kind of thing. So you can see if you use like over the next 6 months, you realize that your skin and somebody who is not using Retin-A, there is a very big difference. The pores appear, the size of the pores are, the appearance and size of your pores are smaller, the texture is so much better, and like everything looks much better if you're using Retin-A correctly. So patience is very important. And then next we have like interactions. So the way our pharmacology book can tell you about drug interactions, this is also a drug, so it has interactions. So if you're using Retin-A, I would not recommend you use your benzoyl peroxide acne medication. The two of them just don't work well together. They probably even cancel each other out. So benzoyl peroxide and Retin-A, you can't use them together. Then because Retin-A is sort of an exfoliant, they will not recommend you using Retin-A and the salicylic acid together at the same time. I feel like maybe you're using like a wash of salicylic acid, you can use it like in the morning, then use your Retin-A in the night. But if you're using like Retin-A and salicylic acid, they don't recommend that you use them together really. So those are some of the interactions. And obviously, if you're pregnant, yeah, Retin-A is not for you. So if you're pregnant, you can't use Retin-A. What else? Yeah, so I think those are some of the like interactions and contraindications. Anyway, so UV and sun protection. I know I said it before, I think it's as important as I say it again. When you're using Retin-A, you need sun protection more than ever during the day. Use your sunscreen with adequate SPF 50. Use your sunscreen. Reapply it every 2 to 4 hours. I know it might be difficult, but that's what they recommend. That's what's recommended. And then also, Retin-A tends to leave your skin dry, so you use a moisturizer. In fact, when you're applying it, I said like you use the pea size and you dot it on your face and then rub it in. But before you even do that, you should put like Vaseline on the sensitive part of your face, like the side of your eyes, the side of your mouth, and the side of your nose, because you will see scaling in those areas because the product can pull there and cause like intense dryness and skin. So you put Vaseline to protect those areas, the side of your eyes, side of your nose, and side of your mouth, before you put the Retin-A. And use a moisturizer after you use your Retin-A, because you don't want to have dry skin. In fact, if you have really, really dry skin, after you put your Vaseline, first of all, you do use your I would recommend you use your moisturizer first, like a thin layer of your moisturizer. Then you put the Vaseline to protect the areas before you now put your Retin-A on, so that you don't have scaling of your skin. So I feel like those are the important or salient points in the how to use. And then for the side effects, I think I've already mentioned all of them: the scaling, the burning, the itching, the irritation. If you overuse, or if you try to be overzealous in the use, or you try to rush into using it every night, or you are not patient, you're not grading, or let me say titrating the medication as you should, starting it weekly and all that, then you will, in fact, like it's not you will have irritation, scaling, and all that. So you should start slow, don't be too impatient. Anyway, so I think I have mentioned the salient points. There are so many videos on Retin-A you can find from actual dermatologists. not a dermatologist, not even started specializing in anything yet. So Dr. Dray, she has many videos on Retin-A. I think I used to watch her video when I first started using it. I used to watch her videos a lot. And Dr. I've forgotten her name. I'll put it in the description. You can go and check them out for like an in-depth video on Retin-A. And also, your Retin-A, I feel like you can. I talked about medication you can't use it, but I think I mentioned medication you can actually use it. You can still use your niacinamide if you are using it for your hyperpigmentation. You can still use your vitamin C serum and all that. You can still use like most of your skincare routine. It's just don't use the benzoyl peroxide and the salicylic acid along with it too. Those are the two, I think. And then obviously, if you're pregnant, please don't use Retin-A. It's not for you until after your pregnancy. So in conclusion, like I said, Retin-A with the active ingredient tretinoin is a prescription medication that is usually prescribed by a dermatologist for your skin when they feel it is necessary. Of course, in Nigeria, a lot of people use it without prescription, but that's it. It's just for another day. And you know, like I said before, we have the retinoids and the retinols. I recommend you use retinols if you are new to everything. You don't just jump head first into using Retin-A. Start slow, be careful, monitor your skin, and all in all, Retin-A is a very, very good medication. It does wonders for the skin. It helps with age. It helps to prevent like overaging of your skin, like prevent wrinkles, all those fine lines that you get when you get older. It really helps with that. So it's really beneficial for the skin. And if you see a dermatologist and recommend it, so I was saying, so if you see a dermatologist and you recommend it and you start using it, then I guarantee that you see results like I have seen over the months I've been using it. Trust me, my skin was I don't have before pictures, but my skin was way worse than this. Like, this is like an improvement. It's very bad now, but it was worse. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please be safe out there with whatever skincare products you're trying, and I hope I have educated you enough so that you can go and find out like you can go and get more in-depth knowledge about Retin-A if you have just been prescribed it, or you want to do Vaseline and start using it by yourself. Okay, so thank you, stay safe, and that is the end of this video. Like we're dreaming even when we're not. You need, gotta hold